Hey everybody, welcome back to Disco Elysium. So the first couple episodes have not gone well. I died in the first one, and I gave up. Apparently after having a mental breakdown because I shot this dead body. So last time we talked to this kid and it got us literally nowhere. We're gonna ignore it. Or, sorry, him. Magnesium. Herbs in the greenhouse. We know that's the gardener.
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite.
Why am I looking at this pile of roofing material?
Because it's nice and orderly.
Okay.
Well-laid pallets, easy on the eyes. Rhythmic pattern calms your mind.
Oh.
Mammals like this stuff.
Okay then.
It's nothing. Someone just left some roofing material slanted against an old shack. Glad you
Maybe.
asked. When junior researcher Olari Tal invented Eternite in the Vatna Polytechnic Institute some 30-odd years ago, he thought it would last forever. Hence the name, Eternite. Sadly, the only lasting thing turned out to be the material's highly carcinogenic effect.
Oof. Okay. No. Okay. Alright, so we're just not gonna talk to this guy. It was a giant waste of time. He was just a big old jerk. He said a lot of swear words.
The corpse looks at you with bulging white eyes. The face around them does not look human. It's swollen and ready to burst. His lips are fish-like and his tongue like a ball gag in his mouth.
And I wonder, getting this, we got +1 morale, so maybe if I would have had that when I shot that guy, maybe we wouldn't have gotten the game over. Which I guess makes sense.
You seem to be holding your breath. A cargo belt twists his neck at an unnatural angle. The body below appears stiff. It's letting out an ungodly rot. The smell seeps in even through your clenched nostrils.
Active decay. It's okay to throw up, officer. No one is judging.
He's about to blow! Cop's gonna blow, Kuno!
The
Yeah,
smell is
I got that last
repulsive.
time.
It pushes in from your mouth, more instant and more familiar than anything you'd expected. More fever than odor. It fills your mind, flushing you from within.
Just try to walk away. No, didn't work.
Too late. It's impossible to keep in. Your body curls and pushes it out, burst by burst, until a pool of vomit lies under your feet and your throat stings from the stomach acid. The smell of Commodore Red rises from the pool. Among it, distilled spirit and bits of shish kebab.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Happens to everyone. Keep it. The
Thanks.
hangover is clearly making this worse for you. You could use some ammonia to clear your head. That young woman, the gardener, mentioned she used salts for the smell.
Okay.
If she doesn't have any, there might be some in the fridge store nearby.
Acquiring ammonia will provide a modifier to the white check. Modifiers make checks easier and allow you to retry them.
Alright.
Active decay.
He's about to blow! Cop's gonna blow, Kuno!
That was it? Oh, so I only... Handkerchief given to you by Lieutenant Kitsugari. Ragi. Corners adorned with a lace, tiny embroidered portiere. Okay, get him money from the gardener. That's pretty wild because I got that 3% roll chance, and I didn't have to worry about that.
I can't believe it's snowing again. It felt like springtime just a few days ago. Sure, I'm done with them.
Thank you.
Go easy on that stuff. It gave me a terrible headache.
Okay. Gonna keep me from throwing up, that's all. How do I consume? Maybe I just have it now, so.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that corpse smell.
Alright, so now I'm
Emitting it is all it does now.
going from 3% to 8%. Alright.
The ammonia only makes it worse. The combination forces tears out of your ducts. You manage to keep it in once. The second time, not so much. When the vomiting is done, your cheeks are wet with tears.
That really sucks, because that first time.
Nor does the wind right now. I've seen strong men turn themselves inside out for hours. You are facing tough odds here. Alcohol withdrawal makes it considerably harder.
Yeah, just do it without me.
No. This is
Okay.
a two-man assignment because it needs 2 officers to complete. I need your help. You need to get your shit together.
Okay.
We should go talk to the locals. Find something else to do while the wind changes. It's pretty bad right now.
You've gained a thought. When this
Oh.
dialogue is over, go to your thought cabinet and internalize it for special bonuses and effects.
Okay, we've been doing that.
Give it half an hour. Get yourself together. Then come back and have another go.
Okay. Yeah, we're still volumetric shit compressor. Your shit is a part, and it's rather unbecoming of a cop and a human being. It's supposed to be the opposite of that. Together, compressed in a small area. To achieve a solid level of shit compression, squeeze your butt cheeks together for 30 minutes. Do something similar with the 2 hemispheres of your brain. Talk to people. Maybe that will help. What on earth is that? Okay. Map. Okay. That's... Honestly, this is pretty cool. Since, I feel like I almost wasted that last time. I think it was kind of rare that we were able to do all that. Hello?
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open.
A young girl with chubby red cheeks waves at you smiling. Her nose is also red from the cold. Hello. I'm the law.
Are you interested in a new and exciting book?
Sure. What kind of store is this anyway?
It's a bookstore, sir. We sell books, postcards, and some board games. It's called Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Okay.
Books, postcards, easy. Even a kid would know all of this.
Little girl, I know what a book is. Books are like very long letters with stories inside them. Yeah, it feels inappropriate to lecture this
Don't
girl.
be a fool. As an expert, it's your duty to tell what you know to everyone.
No.
Sir, you okay? You've been standing here silently for a while now.
It's okay if I ask you some questions.
Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have. I hope they're about books.
They're not. What is your name?
My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is Plaisance. She owns the store. She's inside minding the register or organising the stock.
The girl gazes at the window, then suddenly jolts, her eyes wide, as if recalling something.
Feel free to step in and browse our wares.
And you're standing out here in the cold because...
I'm signalling that the store is open. Otherwise, people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance, and biographies of famous people.
Such a good trooper you are, already learning the value of hard work. Pat her head. No. I could help by brutally dismantling the free market. Yeah, let's go talk to her mom.
Oh, no, sir. I'm happy to help Mum by luring in customers. Besides, I have some hot juice in my vacuum bottle to keep warm.
Oh, okay, I didn't realize that's the direction we were going.
I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep this place running.
Isn't going to school more important?
Mum says it's necessary to do both because it builds character. Mum says a proper worker is dutiful. That's how you get ahead in life. You succeed.
There is stress and unease behind these words. She's reciting etiquette.
How's the business going?
Mum says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first. There's talk about this house being cursed.
Cursed? In what way?
Cursed in the way that makes them say that no business has ever really thrived here, sir. That they all go...
She's looking for the right word. Bankrupt?
Exactly. But we've been doing fine so far.
Well, I don't think curses are real.
They shouldn't be, but they seem real. Anyhow, they say that these grounds are doomed for businesses.
Just regular trading and selling of things, child. It doesn't work out for most people. They're not doomed, but your mother should learn from their mistakes.
Of course, sir.
Doesn't know what else to say.
Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that, and the work of a policeman or a private detective who's trying to solve a crime and catch the criminals.
Wait, not crime fiction. I need to know what crime is.
And it's kind of like a puzzle too. You can guess who the criminal is or how the good guys are going to catch him.
I'm a policeman myself, by the way.
You don't look much like a policeman.
Well, what does a cop look like then?
Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen.
He points to a book cover on which you see a strapping Vespertine officer. He stands grimly over the body of a dead woman. I used to be exactly like that Mullen guy. Then I decided to live a little. Yeah, wow, look at that guy. I'll never be as good as Mullen.
Don't say that. He's not even real. You're real.
That's right, a
Cheer
real
up, sir.
failure.
No need to compare yourself to a fictional character.
Thank you. Oh my
Maybe
gosh,
you
I'm
can
so
show me some
nervous.
real deductive police work, sir. Like in the books.
Okay, I'm going to do something now.
The girl keeps her hands folded, hidden. Why is that?
Hey, why do you keep your hands folded?
What do you mean, sir?
You don't need to be worried. I'm here to help. You can show them to me. Actually, I'd rather not deduce anything. Yeah, show them to me.
She looks around anxiously. Her hands remain folded in front of her. She doesn't want to show them. The lieutenant stands by, looking at the two of you with little interest.
Yeah, hands up.
She brings out her reddened hands, her nails frayed, nearly chewed down to the flesh.
You bite your nails?
And you knew this from me keeping my hands folded?
She shoots you a suspicious glance. there are a few other hints.
Well, that proves nothing. Anyone could do an easy deduction like that.
Her eyes flash with defiance. She's not impressed.
She nods, half provocative, half enthusiastic.
You're uptight because of your mother and the pressure she's putting on you.
Maybe so, sir. Okay, I know it's a bad habit, and I shouldn't.
Either way, another ace deduction by the #1 detective in town.
It was okay, sir.
There's more that can be achieved here. Ask her to do the same.
Yeah, to do something about me.
You're quite sober.
The lieutenant does not flinch at the comment. He does not flinch even a single bit. He is intensely not flinching. It takes effort.
Wait, how do you know I'm usually not?
Because you usually aren't.
I'm having a grand
I
time.
sure hope you are, sir.
There she stands, swaying on her feet, assaulted by the early spring breeze. She smiles at you. The whole situation suddenly feels familiar, somehow. There's something you're missing.
Let's go through the rest of these options and see what we get.
It's the type of book where there's a rich lady and she has to choose between the good man and the bad man. Or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir.
What about a poor man getting a rich lady?
It happens, but usually the guy gets rich in the process. Or should actually be rich himself, but has lost his family property unjustly, like during the revolution or something.
See,
Those are unhappy books, for most of the pages. People sad about what they have lost, but then it all turns out just fine in the end. These are not very common. You can't have a choice between bad and bad. Nobody wants to read a story like that. Well, maybe then it's fine. Maybe if the lady then decides not to pick either, because she doesn't need a bad man. Yes, that would be interesting. Maybe some about other books?
yes, and then who are these famous people?
Oh, kings and queens and generals of old, or artists and writers, or musicians, those kinds of people. There's usually something extraordinary about them. I think that's why people read them, to find the secrets of their fame.
Seems like most people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them.
But it does make the famous people more famous. Why would they do that, sir? You're not that old. Maybe you'll do something really important, something that wows the world. Yes, sir.
Okay, let's just try it.
You have absolutely no
Okay.
idea. Familiar? How? You must have forgotten something you heard again.
Alright, well, see you around, Annette. Okay. Bunch of books. Is there anything... Report your badge missing. I wonder where his car is. Okay, that's not the only options we got. Okay, you go to Tibbs to get that window fixed. seem to be much over here. Hello.
The streets will flow red once more, a great torrent rushing down Rue de Esperance. You wait and see.
The girl stares at the sailboat by the pier.
The streets will not flow red with anything. Who are you?
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C.
We just want to know your name, little lady. No need to get defensive.
And here I was trying to be polite. Just can't win with you pigs.
Quite the sash, she puts the brush aside.
A brush? An artist? The red splatter is urban expressionism.
Keep looking off to the side. What are you looking at?
The lieutenant furrows his brow at another one of your eccentricisms. Hatred, disgust. It's difficult to tell which of the two is more present in her girlish features. The woman on the boat does not notice her staring.
That is on her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her.
Ozon is an archipelago 2 days' travel away from Rivershore. Its moneyed residents, used to posh restaurants and upscale boutiques, rarely have reason to visit Martinez.
Who is she?
Probably the Wild Pines rep. We should talk to her. She's a professional negotiator, though. I have the feeling she will be very cooperative while telling us nothing. You should take the lead. Ask her unexpected questions, Do your thing. Don't be afraid to get a bit wacky. Throwing her off is our best bet.
Okay.
Good idea, piggies. Run along now. Fuck her shit up good. Impound that boat while you're at it. I'd like to watch her swim back to Ozon.
What are you doing to the wall?
Can't you tell? I'm painting a beautiful mural, an aereo graffitio visible from low orbit. I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words.
Studies the wall, suddenly pensive. So you don't know what to write?
Have you ever tried your hand at graffitio? When faced with a blank wall, most people write unimaginative stuff, like pigs go home and Mona was here. We rarely see pigs round here, though. Just union cads. And my name's not Mona, so...
Why are you so committed to defacing the building?
This place is severely lacking in havoc. Not even the occasional trash can fire to break up the tedium. I thought I'd mix it up, summon the forces of crime and social chaos with a wall-sized invitation. Yeah?
Hooliganism?
Thanks. I'm sure the inspiration will come to me now that I have an official RCM stamp of approval.
She means the opposite.
You know anything about the recent murder?
I ain't no snitch, pigstein. Go forth and forage in someone else's shit. No shortage of squealers in these parts.
Is that... Oh, this? So I'm good? Am I done? Is that what that means?
Actually, there is a shortage of people who talk to us in a normal, calm, informative manner.
We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant, fucko.
Catch you later, Cindy.
Watch your back, ungulate. You've got eyes on you.
Oh, what a joyous conversation that was.
Volumetric shit compressor.
My shit compressed now?
Bizarre scientific news from Rivershore West today, where a police officer's shit has been observed at a pressure of around 495 gigadecimals. These metallic hydrogen levels of shit togetherness were thought to exist only at the center of collapsing stars, not law officials. It remains to be seen how long the shit singularity lasts.
Well, perfect. That is hilarious. So I don't want to forget that, right? Probably do everything over again. So we can go back and see the victim. Should we be talking to this lady first, though? Alright, yeah, we'll talk to this lady really quick. See what we can get out of her.
The striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
Good morning, officers. I'm Joyce. Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbor. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
Steps closer and holds out her hand over the railing.
Dayton, my maiden name.
Her bony hand dangles from the sleeve of her oversized raincoat. RCM, what is that? I'm a little foggy here.
I meant you, the Revachol Citizens Militia, the police.
Gave us away.
Nothing, honestly. I've said it to every drunk in town, and you're the first one who's responded.
Relax. She meant it in jest.
I'm glad to see you here.
Her grip is tight and cold.
Like steel. There is strength there. If she wanted, she could sink her nails deep into your skin.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will, gladly.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
Oh boy.
There's a trace of irony in his voice. Mischief, even. This is a tactic.
Okay, so he wants me to ask really weird questions.
It happens quicker than a shooting star. But did the lieutenant just wink at you?
Okay, yeah, so...
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
You're on a boat. Tell me about the Wild Pines, what you do. Can you tell me about the strike? We can tell me about the lynching. You seem rich. Can I have some money?
Is what you want to say, but it isn't that easy, is it?
What? Why not?
Look at that lady. Take a gander. Squint your eyes, bub.
The lustrous hair.
A well-kempt, yet tastefully short bob of dark hair. Despite the first hints of grey, she's elected to keep it au naturel, shaped into a permanent wave, late 40s style. Positively statuesque, while dull orange pearls hang from her earlobes, red from the cold. Her light green eyes scan you, full of knowledge and worry, wealth and all its possibilities. These are the kind eyes of the rich man that seem to say everything is possible, within reason. Now look at you, you misery-clad simian, barely able to tie your own laces. Your armpits are lakes, a scythe of booze precedes you, your hair sticks to your forehead, and your underwear feels uncomfortable. You're poor, poor as balls. You can't ask this person for money. You're too...
Ashamed?
Yes, you're too ashamed to ask this person for money. Too scared to belittle yourself in her eyes. Those half-precious stones of Odinil.
As I was saying, if there's any way I may be of assistance, please don't hesitate to ask.
You're on a boat.
Why, yes I am.
She looks at the deck under her feet. Green and white sails flutter overhead. Not a lot of people are on boats, are there?
Of course there are. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around?
Well, poo. Oh, wait, we're in an archipelago?
Yes, we are. We are on Le Caillou.
Technically, the neighboring Ozone and Fas Alamer island groups are archipelagos, while La Caillou by contrast, is a single fertile landmass, the fourth largest island in the world. It is not an archipelago.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Still, I haven't seen anyone else sail a boat around here.
I haven't seen anyone else drive a souped-up Capri Kenema motor carriage either.
Yeah, boy.
Actually, that motor carriage has been specially issued to serve as a patrol and pursuit vehicle. It's for crossing long distances in the greater Revachol industrial harbor. It's not a toy.
Neither is this. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Revachol, between the city and the islands.
You need to make this lady admit she's only riding around on this boat because she's rich. Why what? Stop thinking. Take her down.
Actually, yes, I need to nail her for this.
Before you do, it might be pertinent to ask a few more questions. Learn whatever you can about this boat of hers.
Go in for the kill. Do you have a name?
The boat? No. It is called Cordelati 19 because that's the type of sloop it is. It's a pleasure craft, a 19 pacer. It also happens to be rated for Category 1 racing. Though these days I mainly use it for business.
How do you like it?
My sloop? I like it a lot. It's the eel's hips, baby.
I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with the murder we're investigating.
Okay. Yeah, I think we got a hand on the boat thing. Yeah, what do you do with the wild pines?
What we do? I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
There was a touch of discomfort there. She wants to merely represent.
What do they do?
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things. And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
The Wild Pines Group is one of the original Revacholian Indo-tribes. Companies awarded royal monopolies by the king, the suzerain himself, centuries ago. The king is long gone, but several of the Indo-tribes remain.
Who are the other Indo tribes?
Saint-Baptiste, Elysium, an unknown entity known as Brightest Star.
You're in good company, it seems. Gotta tell me something.
She nods.
Can you tell me about the strike?
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
What if I want to hear the trade secrets?
First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade in Aliments. That gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus.
The octopus that straddles Revachol, the Emergencies Act, is the cornerstone of post-war Revachol, inseparable from the world it created.
Good luck is only kept in place by the vested interests of half the civilized world, including your own.
What the ma'am means is that the Emergencies Act and the RCM both get their authority from the coalition government.
You'd be shooting yourself in the foot, in other words.
Leave it alone.
But I am derailing us. You wanted to know about the strike. I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place.
Wait, she just admitted that the lynching and the strike are connected.
Now they won't even let me into the harbor. There's a 2-meter 20 racist behemoth blocking the gates. What can I say? The union employs a giant covered in tattoos. A racist giant. I guess that's part of their big tent organization now. Yes, I believe there is a connection, but that's a subject for later. Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
But the strike began in December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
Ludicrous even. It's meant.
Mr. Clare told him to... how did he put it? Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see.
Yeah, okay then.
Yes.
Oops, I accidentally
Extremely. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the union.
What are their demands?
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes. Every worker, a member of the board.
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
Fortunately, they explained it. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about anything, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group. They're having a blast. But how can they afford it? After 4 months, my assumption was they would prefer a more practical solution. I'm not sure. Naturally, I assumed that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the bowyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me mañana."
This checks out.
Tell me about this union boss.
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first.
Really?
Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
If you were to prick him with something sharp, you could see it oozing out. A knife, maybe? No, a rapier.
Be that bad?
He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
There are 2 of him?
Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
What about the union itself, outside the brothers Clare?
The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. Organised labour at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
A mob. The debardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, I suspect we'll be forced to cooperate with them.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother. And your opinion, detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Debardeurs Union is...
An effective advocate for the rights of local well, working men. Goodness. We're not to have an opinion on these things. Well, we are asking an awful lot.
Why do you think so?
What she calls corruption is simply an aesthetic category.
Talking in aesthetic categories is the privilege of the overclass. From what I've seen, most people are just trying to survive.
Point taken. But enough about Everard. What else can I do for you?
One more thing, you said something happened in the elections?
I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the Union. She disappeared.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore. Or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
This forewoman, her name?
Sadly, the company records do not even give a name. She's just forewoman in private correspondence, Holly. I don't even know if it's a sir or given name, and I don't have access to the Union's files. Downright haunting, if you ask me. The Wild Pines suspected foul play, but what could they do? It was a Union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
Of course. How else can I help? Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Don't know my badge number.
Of course, ma'am.
Or my name.
We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
How curious. Why is that, detective?
Remember when my partner told you I had recently suffered from an unusual medical episode? My lost badge is related to it.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
It's possible. After a night of heavy drinking, I lost all memory of my life and the world. Yeah, we'll avoid that.
Oh dear. Some kind of encephalopathic amnesia. I don't even know how to respond. I do believe you, naive as that may sound. I simply can't imagine what you gain by faking such a condition.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
Alright.
She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
Yeah, we'll go get it.
Of course. But before we do, officers, let me be perfectly clear. The situation is extremely volatile. The sooner we can speak about this lynching business, the better for all of us. Of course, detective. Take care.
Alright. So, we haven't leveled up yet. This isn't like a real map. Oh, we need to acquire the map. Okay, well, we gotta find our car, we get our badge number, we'll come back, we'll talk to her, get some information. We'll still have to take a chance on that dead body, see if we can keep from throwing up. Alright, I'm gonna leave this episode here, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.